this is Dave Sherwin with Dr. Kepo'o. Got an outstanding episode for you today on multivitamins, which you should not be taking.
Exactly.
And a lot of people are going to be shocked by that.
Yeah, especially the ones that most people take.
Yeah, so there's a quality issue. There's the issue of the shotgun approach, that there's too much of some things, not enough of others. And the research that we've done on this, by the way, comes from three major sources: Science-Based Medicine, the Mayo Clinic, and Doctors Paul Jamine, PhD, and Shu-Ching Jamine, PhD, who wrote a book that you can buy, by the way, which I highly recommend, called The Perfect Health Diet. And it is an outstanding book. And the thing I love about it is they've done a ton of research on this very topic, as well as other general nutritional concepts. But their big takeaway on multivitamins, and why we're going to recommend to you a specific personal supplementation strategy that we'll get into in a minute, is from this, kind of summarized in this quote. They say, it's a puzzle. If most Americans are malnourished and malnourishment injures health, why don't multivitamins improve health? Adding to the puzzle, while multivitamins have little effect, individual supplements generally improve health. So I think that's probably surprising to a lot of people, but we are highly recommending that a person should have a personal supplementation strategy, of which we're about to list all the things that should be in it.
Right. Based upon what we've seen with the research, upon what I've seen happen in my office, and also what you've seen even within your own training, with triathlon training and so forth, right?
Yeah, so from personal experimentation, but more importantly from some really good science and studies involving hundreds of thousands of people, we've come up with this information. And the benefits of getting this right are weight loss, muscle gain, manage emotions, sleep better, having more energy, and enhanced brain function. These are all benefits from the research that you can get when you get this right. Because back to the multivitamins, not only do they not have some of the stuff you need, they don't have near enough of it. And there's a lot of research on some of these deficiencies. So let's jump right in.
Awesome.
The first thing, and you've called this the Desert Island Supplement. As a matter of fact, we have a whole episode that we ought to link to in the show notes. We'll go ahead and do that. Yeah. We'll link to the whole episode on this one, is fish oil.
Yeah, that's the one supplement, if I were asked, if you could only have one, which one would you have? And that's fish oil, because it helps with so many different issues, and there are so many people that are deficient on this. So,
and I got to tell you, from my personal experience, when I was training for the national championships in triathlon, was when you told me a few months before that I ought to try doing 10,000 milligrams of fish oil.
Which sounds crazy.
Every day for 60 days, then reduce it down to 5,000. Now, I did that because everything else you've told me to do has worked for me. So I trust you, and so we worked together. And that advice was amazing, and let me tell you why. Although you didn't say this, let me tell you what happened. First of all, at that time, I was starting to have trouble reading fine print. I was 47 years old, at that age when most people are starting to need glasses to read stuff. And that's frustrating because I've had good eyesight my whole life and really treasured that, and I was starting to lose it. It bugged me. Do you know what? I still don't have glasses, and I read better, and I can read in the fine print, and I'm absolutely positive it's a direct result of the fish oil. Do you believe that?
Oh yeah, totally. Because of what happens with just what fish oil does to your body, it can actually do that for your eyes. It can do that for your brain. It can do that for your nervous system. I mean, if you're taking the right amounts, you're going to get some great results with it.
Well, I'm just telling you, it was about 90 days after I started that regimen that I picked something up thinking, I'm going to have to get this like here. I picked it up, read something I had not been able to read before, and noticed, whoa, I can just read that. It just was like I hadn't noticed till one day I read something that had been hard for me before, and suddenly I was like, I think it's the fish oil. So for whatever reason, like you said, it's so fundamental to so many things. We'll refer you to the other video where Dr. Kepo'o goes into great depth on the fish oil, but that's number one. And I just recommend the same thing you told me. We're probably deficient. If you haven't been taking it, do the 10,000. It'll cost you a little bit. We have it on sale. We have a pharmaceutical grade Omega 8060. There's a picture here in our show notes. Let's see if the camera will focus on that. And that's a pharmaceutical grade fish oil I sell right in our own store, easywellnessstore.com. And it's a good price, probably cheaper than what you get it at the health food store. And so you'd need a few of those to do 10,000 a day, but I got to tell you, the health benefits are so worth it. So let's move on from fish oil, not because it's not super important and you're number one, But the next one is another one that most people are deficient in, and that is a vitamin D. And another one where the research tells us that the recommended daily allowance is just not enough.
No, in fact, I've tested hundreds of people in my office on vitamin D levels.
Yeah?
I mean, we are in Utah, so we're in a little bit lower area on the globe, right?
Okay.
So I would say...
Lower meaning north-south,
exactly,
not elevation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would say about 99.5% of the patients that I've tested are too low on the scale, but their doctors have looked at it and said, you're fine.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's what they found in Perfect Health Diet as well, is that the health professionals generally, and what they generally accept and believe, is wrong.
Right.
And so what they're telling us is that if you live in a northern area, 4,000 IUs a day. If you live in a moderate climate, 2,500. And even if you live in the tropics, you need to supplement with 1,000 vitamin D a day. Recommendation for purchase, I get mine at Costco.
Yeah, believe it or not, Costco has some pretty good supplements that they sell there. They've done actually a lot of third-party testing, and they've all come up on top on a lot of different supplements.
Super cheap. So. The bottle about that big will last you forever. I mean, they're tiny little things. And there you go, vitamin D. Yeah. Very inexpensive, not difficult to do. The next one, vitamin E. Vitamin E is in every multivitamin, and it's totally unnecessary. The only reason you need vitamin E is if you're on a weight loss regimen. If you are currently on a diet to lose weight, you need 15 milligrams per day of vitamin E. That's another Costco product, right?
Right. And that's basically to help you process through the weight that you're losing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're not losing weight, you really don't need that much.
Yeah. Otherwise, you get enough from your diet. Even if your diet is not great, you're going to get it.
Yep.
B vitamins. Now, this is different. B vitamins we got to take very seriously. We all need a really high-quality B complex. And another one where the research is showing the daily recommended intake is wrong.
Once again, right? It's because you've got these big boards trying to make decisions on individual health, right?
Right, and they're doing it for the average person. I don't know about you, I'm not the average person, and you listening are not the average person. At the end of the day, we call this a personal supplementation strategy for a reason. There may be things that you need to add that we haven't even talked in here. We're going very generally over those basics that would work for everybody.
Right.
But it matters how old you are, how young you are. There's probably other recommendations your practitioner may make to you that are beyond the scope of this episode and these general ones that we're talking about. But B vitamins, almost everyone is deficient. This is particularly important for brain function and health and getting over brain fog, improving memory. There's all types of things. I use MemoryWorks. We'll put a link to that in the show notes. I love it. It's an energy drink, which I like. I love it because it's a natural mental stimulating energy drink that gives me all the B complex that I need. So for me, it is the personal supplementation side of my B. Plus, it has other things that are particularly designed to help brain function.
Yes, and it tastes good too.
It tastes good. Yeah. And gives you a lift. And if you are like me and you spend hours at a computer or you're doing like brain on work a lot, taking one right before you do that work, you'll find that you can go for 3 or 4 hours and get more done in those 3 or 4 hours than you'd get done in 8 hours without it. It's a pretty hot supplement.
Yeah.
But we'll put a link to that in the show notes. Vitamin A.
Vitamin A, you know what? Actually, this one gets a bad rap. A lot of people think that you can overdose on vitamin A, right? So then they don't get enough in the multivitamin, right? Because they don't put a lot in there because of that bad rap.
Right.
So what we make a suggestion is just actually increase your egg intake, and you'll actually get the vitamin A that your body needs.
And can we, without going into great deal, just tell you that if you have heard that eggs are bad for you, just get rid of that belief?
Yeah. Yeah,
just do. Eggs are good for you. The human animal does well on eggs.
Yeah.
I have eggs every single day. It's often what I have for breakfast. They're delicious. They're filling. They don't give you a glycemic spike like a lot of the foods that people eat for breakfast. And they'll give you all the vitamin A and many other things. And so eggs. But if you do that, you'll get your vitamin A. Selenium.
Yeah, that's a trace mineral. So a lot of people, they'll buy these big mineral packets, right? Which can be great. You know, like there's a product that I love using called X2O.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a mineral packet you can put into your
so
water
selenium
bottle.
is a mineral supplement.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, and most people are deficient on that. So one really good way to get that, just that one trace mineral, is through eating meat.
Yeah, three times a week.
Right.
If you already eat meat 3 times a week, you're getting the selenium that you need. And if not, then look at or if you're a vegan or a vegetarian or you just don't eat meat, then you will need to supplement selenium. Iodine. This one shocked me. Now, apparently there's a test you can do where you put iodine on your skin, and if it absorbs, you're deficient. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, and you got to actually, you time it, and if it just absorbs in super fast, it's because your body is just aching for that, wants more of it. And most people that you test these days, it absorbs like within seconds.
Almost all of us are deficient in iodine. Now, the easiest way to get it is through kelp tablets. Now, apparently, if you are deficient, you need to work your way up over the course of about 3 months. Now, here's what I did and what I recommend. Kelp tablets are another really affordable one, so this is great. It's not going to hurt your budget. I think it cost me $13 for at my local health food store, a container about this big with 1,000 tablets. I haven't even gone through it yet, and I think I've been using it 18 months.
Oh, wow.
And what I did is I did 1 tablet a day, and then worked my way up to 2, then 3, and then 4. And it's and so it's 1,000 micrograms per day is what you need, but start with 250 and you work your way up to the 1,000. Otherwise, apparently, you can have health problems.
Yeah, you can,
if you
especially
ramp
with
up
your
too fast.
thyroid.
Okay, very good. Vitamin C.
This is one of those great vitamins because you can't overdose. You can just take vitamin C like crazy. You'll get the health benefits from it, and the rest of it that you don't need just goes out the drain.
And you need 1 gram a day. My favorite way to get it is through those little orange packets that are a drink. Emergency.
Yeah.
Emergency. Another Costco item. We're not affiliated with Costco, by the way. This is just from our own experience and research. Some of these are just very affordable and well done at Costco, and so we want to give you the best value that we can.
Right.
And so I buy those. They come in a 3-pack at Costco. They're delicious. And by the way, a lot of people, because you're used to taking a full glass of water, maybe 10 to 12 ounces to add powders to, they do that with Emergency. But what I found is it just do like 2 ounces and do it more in a shot, and it tastes a lot better. It's a fizzy drink. You pour it in, it fizzes up, and then I down it like a shot. And I do 1 of those a day, and it gets me my vitamin C. And you're okay with the quality of these Emergency.
Yeah.
I've heard health professionals rip on them, like the vitamin C is not of good quality, but you disagree.
Yeah, I've read some of the research that they've done on that, and it's all good.
So it's affordable and good quality and inexpensive. So there you go. Now those are the major ones. Those are all the things that you typically find in a multivitamin, but your multivitamin won't have enough of them. Your multivitamin won't have any fish oil. It won't have enough vitamin D, and it won't be the right amount of vitamin D depending on the climate that you live in, and so on. This is why this is narrowed down to a personal supplementation strategy. But now we get into those extra and cool items beyond multivitamins that should be part of your supplementation strategy. Now, if you have pounds to lose, you need to be supplementing to help you with that. Why not? The combination of exercise, diet, and supplementation are the 3 prongs to my stool, to my health stool. That has served me so well. I'm healthier at the age of 48. I can lift more weight, jump higher, do better, run faster than I could when I was 20 years old. And it's because of this foundation I've built of researching and figuring out the right diet, exercise, and supplementation. Now, for some of you, you got to target the areas where you're weak. And for a lot of Americans right now, it is in weight. They're overweight. And so we want you, dear listener, to achieve your ideal weight. And supplementation can help. A couple things. If you have 20 plus pounds to lose it fast. You do the HCG regimen. I'm very biased here because I sell it. I have my own brand, HCG Easy Drops. We've helped thousands of people lose weight. It's wonderful. One of the most fulfilling experiences of my life is to get so many testimonials from people who lost stubborn weight they'd never been able to lose before. It's a little bit extreme compared to other diets, but you know what? Everyone who loses 30 pounds in 30 days loves it. We have had 0 complaints of problems or challenges. It's a healthy way to lose weight fast, and mentally it's easier for people to be disciplined for a short period of time than for a very long period of time, because we tend to fluctuate in our motivation and our ability to stay on task with things. So lose weight quickly. We'll put a link to that product in the notes. You can read about it if you haven't heard of it. For ongoing maintenance, I'm always dealing with the battle of the bulge just like everybody else. And so I am always taking there's 4 that are currently out there. They're quite popular. Modern science has provided these. Shipping from international exotic places has allowed these to come to almost all markets now. Green coffee bean, an interesting one to look into. African mango naturally reduces weight. Raspberry ketones naturally reduce weight a different way. And Garcinia, which has gotten so popular in recent years. We have found that taking any of these can help you lose those pounds, but that your body can get used to them. So what's a good idea is if you're wanting to lose weight, and it's not a lot that you want to lose quickly like you do with HCG Easy Drops, but you're just wanting something to supplement and aid you, try the green coffee bean. Maybe you buy like 2 bottles and do it for 60 days. But then cycle off of that and do another one. Do African mango for a while, then raspberry ketones, and Garcinia. Cycle through them. Because if your body gets used to them, they can be less effective, right?
Yeah, I see that all the time in my office where people think they should just be taking one for the rest of their life. And they're like, it doesn't work as well as it used to 3 months ago. Well, now it's time to cycle.
Yeah. Now for performance, let's talk about performance. We covered weight loss. Performance would be helping you with your workout. I love a product called EnoShock. It's by a company called VitaCore. You can find it online. It's in our store, easywellnessstore.com. We'll put a link to it. I take it before every workout. It'll kick your butt. It will get you. Like if you're a person who struggles with waking up in the morning and getting to the gym, drink this.
It will get you there.
It will get you there.
And
20 minutes later,
too.
And keep you through your workout.
Yeah.
I mean, it will help you kill your workout. It's a great product. I've been using it for 4 years. Post-workout, Sun Warrior Protein.
That I introduced to you.
You introduced me to that. I use it every day. I believe it's the best product out there. I do.
Yeah, it's just a wonderful product. I know that you're not a huge
I wish it
fan of the
tasted a
taste.
little better.
Yeah, it's not like eating cardboard, okay? It's not that bad.
A couple tips.
For me.
A couple tips on it. Post-workout, if you add a teaspoon of cinnamon to it, it really adds to the flavor, and cinnamon is very good for you. You may not like this one, but I'll sometimes add a tablespoon or 2 of maple syrup.
Oh, okay. Some
to
good
it.
organic maple syrup.
Yeah, and if it's after workout, I don't mind that little bit of sugar. And so I'll add the organic maple syrup, also from Costco. That's where I get it, that tub about that big, and cinnamon. And that will make it taste good.
Right.
So, but in terms of quality, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, that's great for that post-workout drink.
Yeah.
So
and get that protein in within 20 minutes of your workout. Okay, female only. Oh, sorry, we missed one.
yeah, glucosamine.
Glucosamine.
Now that's one of my favorite products because I have seen it change people's lives. Like people have chronic knee and shoulder issues. If they can start getting that in, and again, Costco does have some good quality.
It's the one I use as well.
They got a lot of them, right? Mm-hmm. But they've got most of them are good quality. The research has shown that if you take 1,500 milligrams of glucosamine a day, and then even if you can add in about 1,000 milligrams of chondroitin with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Glucosamine, chondroitin. You don't want glucosamine on its own, or it won't be as effective.
Right. And then also when you're taking your fish oils with that too, the research has shown that it's amazing for joints.
Yeah, my physical therapist prescribed this to me for the rest of my life. Last time I saw him, a couple years ago. Actually, it was probably last year. But anyways, I was dealing with an injury. But he said, Dave, you're getting a little older. Are you taking glucosamine chondroitin? And I said, well, I take it after I have any kind of a joint flare-up or issue. He goes, no. He goes, there's so much research on it that just take it all the time. You're now committed for life. And if you do, you'll be healthier. Your joints will do better. So a lot of health professionals now making the same recommendation you are. 1,500 milligrams a day, not more. More won't help anything. Research on that as well. Don't think that if you take more, it'll do better. No, it won't. It'll be wasted. Female only need to supplement with iron. Men, of course, don't need to supplement with iron. Women do. And for females, also, hormone balancing is something to look into that may lead to additional supplementation for your personal strategy. That's something to see your health practitioner about, to get tested and see if you need hormone balancing. Could also help you with mood and happiness and just general life quality of life that you may not have thought of, but women who get hormone tested and then balanced can really have dramatic improvements in lifestyle.
Yep.
So
same thing with the men also.
Same thing with men. Testosterone boosters. I'm currently using one that I'm really liking called Complete T. We're going to do an episode coming up, guys. If you're a man listening, we're going to be talking about boosting your testosterone naturally. You don't want to start doing drugs. If you start the drugs that your doctor wants you to do, you're now committed to life, to something that's going to be very expensive and lower your body's ability to produce it on its own. So drugs are a no-no. I was prescribed by my doctor to raise my testosterone. It tested at like 250. And it's because I was overtraining at the time, I think. But also, I just told him, I'm going to find a natural way to boost it. And he's like, no, you're not. People tell me that all the time. It never works. You got to have the drug. It's the only way. I boosted it 200 points on my own through research. We're going to do an episode on that.
That's brilliant. But
for men, you got to be working on your testosterone after about the age of 35. What would you say?
Yeah, even now, because of the way toxins are in our environment.
So even younger
like in
men?
The 30s, yeah.
In the 30s, okay.
Yeah.
Also for testosterone for men, 4 Brazil nuts morning and night. Eat lots of eggs and meat. And deer antler spray it's got IGF-1. We sell that at easywellnessstore.com, by the way. I take that 3 times a day, 5 squirts under the tongue. I do the Complete T, 4 Brazil nights, morning and night, eggs and meat, and deer antler spray. And frankly, I just gave you most of the episode we'll be doing, other than you have a lot of stuff on it to add.
Yeah.
But those 4 things is what did it for me. Raised my testosterone 200 points naturally without drugs. And that's it. The research for this episode can be found, depending on whether you're at Dr. Kepo'o's site or my site. Look for a link to our blog posts where we'll have links to the research that we got all this information from, as well as some of the products that are for sale online, the ones that aren't at Costco. And do you have anything to add on this personal supplementation strategy?
One thing I like to add, because this I love this, being able to help people be able to personalize their supplementation.
Yeah.
You may be completely overwhelmed by what we just went over, right?
Oh, true.
Oh my gosh, right? And then one easy thing that you can do is that you can contact a practitioner like me, where we have methods of being able to test your body and find out exactly what you're needing. And then we can really personalize it for you. Maybe you find out that you don't need selenium after all, or maybe you find out that you need more vitamin D than we talked about here, right? So you want to find a practitioner that is very versed in nutrition, but also testing you to be able to make it specific to you.
Yeah, I mean, my family mocks me a little bit because I do this. And that means that I have about 7 or 8 bottles that I take down from the cabinet in the morning. And I got my little pharmacy, my little pile of pills that I take every day. And every now and then they make fun of me, and I say, okay, you want to arm wrestle about it? I mean, I'm fit. It works for me, right? I'm in the best shape I've ever been at the age of 48. And it's things like this, as I mentioned earlier, the stool of nutrition, supplementation, and exercise. When you get those things right, you are more happy, you have more energy. Everything else, your relationships are better, everything is better when you get this right. So it's worth going through that feeling of being overwhelmed and just going to the store and Costco and online to get this collection of products. And frankly, it's not that expensive. It's certainly cheaper than being sick.
Yeah, it is. Especially what's going on with healthcare these days.
Yeah. So, this is Dave Sherwin with Dr. Kepo'o, wishing you health and success.